Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you want to learn Hindi, right? But you're probably thinking, where on earth do I even begin? Well, you've come to the right place. We're about to lay out a super simple, clear roadmap to get you started on your journey. Maybe it's to connect with your family, or to finally watch those Bollywood classics without looking at the subtitles. Or maybe you just want to talk with the more than 600 million people who speak this amazing language. Whatever your reason, that feeling of being totally lost at the start, yeah, that's super normal. But don't you worry, we're going to clear that right up. So, here's the game plan. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, the alphabet. From there, we'll see how to build words. Then we'll touch on some key grammar rules, talk about the best ways to actually practice speaking, and finally, wrap it all up. Basically, it's your roadmap from I have no idea to, okay, I can do this. Okay, let's dive right in. First things first, before we can even think about sentences or conversations, we have to start with the building blocks themselves, the alphabet. And this isn't just about reading, it's about training your ear to hear the unique sounds of Hindi. The script is called Devanagari. And honestly, here's the best part, and it's a huge advantage for new learners. It's almost perfectly phonetic. That means each letter makes one consistent sound every single time. It's what you see is what you get. No curveballs like in English with words like through and tough. In Hindi, what you see is what you say. It's that simple. So here you can see the two main parts of the script. You've got your vowels, called swar, and your consonants, called vyanjan. Think of these as your complete Lego set for making every single sound in the Hindi language. It all comes back to that golden rule, written as it is spoken. Getting this concept down is a massive shortcut when you're starting out. And, this is some seriously good advice from another learner online. Before you get all tangled up in writing and reading, just focus on the sounds. Listen to each one, say it out loud, repeat it. Getting that pronunciation right from the start builds a rock-solid foundation for everything else you're going to learn. All right, so you've got the sounds down. What's next? Well, now we get to the fun part, actually putting them together to make words. This is where it really starts to feel like you're learning a language. Let's take a super simple example. We have to sound g from the letter g, and we're just going to add the sound l from the letter l. And boom, just like that, they snap together. K plus l becomes gal, gal. And check this out. You just learned a super common word that can mean both tomorrow and yesterday. How cool is that? And it's the same simple trick over and over again. Ra plus tha makes roth. Ja plus ga makes jag. Na plus la makes null. See the pattern? It's just a predictable system of blending sounds. The more you do it, the more it just clicks. And pretty soon, you'll be reading even longer words without even breaking a sweat. Okay, awesome. We can make words, but how do we string them together into actual sentences that make sense? Let's take a peek at the basic rules that hold Hindi together. Okay, this is probably the single biggest shift you'll have to make from English. In English, we say subject, verb, object. I eat an apple. But in Hindi, the verb almost always gets kicked to the end of the sentence. It's subject, object, verb. So you say, main seb khata hoon, which literally translates to I, apple, eat. Getting the hang of this one little change is going to unlock your understanding of Hindi sentences. Now, don't get hung up on memorizing all these Hindi terms right now. The big idea is just to see that, yep, just like English, Hindi has its own set of building blocks. You've got your nouns, sangya, pronouns, sarvanam, verbs, kriya, and adjectives, visheshan. Just knowing these categories exist helps you start to see the patterns in how everything fits together. So what's the bottom line here? It's that once you get these basics down, the alphabet, the word order, you've basically unlocked the door to the rest of the language. From here, you can start to tackle more advanced things like sandhi, which is about how sounds blend together, or samas, which is how cool new compound words get made. All right, this is my favorite part. Theory is great, but language is all about using it, right? So let's talk about how to actually take all this stuff and bring it to life. The big idea here is what's called immersion. You want to surround yourself with Hindi. Put on some Bollywood movies, listen to Hindi music, maybe even try reading kids' books. A really great trick is changing your phone's language to Hindi. But honestly, the number one rule is to just open your mouth and speak. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's how we learn. And here's a pro tip. Try to form tiny little thoughts in Hindi, like I need water, or that's a big car. That starts training your brain to think in the language, which is a real game changer. Okay, so we've pretty much covered the entire roadmap, haven't we? We've gone from the very first sound all the way to speaking your own thoughts. Let's do a quick final review of the path forward. So let's just quickly recap your game plan. Step 1, really get comfortable with the sounds of the Devanagari script. Step 2, practice putting those sounds together to make words. Step 3, get the hang of that subject-object-verb sentence structure. Step 4, dive in, watch, listen, and speak as much as you can. And step 5, the most important one of all, just be consistent. That's the real secret. And look, just remember this. Grammar can look scary at first, but it's not some big, bad monster. It's not a wall of rules you have to memorize. The more you practice, the more you use the language, the more it just becomes natural. It becomes a part of how you think and speak. So I'm going to leave you with a question. The map is in your hands now. What's that first step going to be? What will be your first Hindi word today?